Hello and welcome back to Bella Star Astrology. I'm your host and astrologer, Stella, and we're here to go over the August 2024 transits as well as the horoscope for your sign. We'll begin with the overall overview, and this month is going to be very interesting. Lots of new energy when it comes to what we're trying to do in the world, as well as maybe getting some clarification about what our thoughts are throughout this journey. This month brings really impactful beginning with August 4th. Venus enters Virgo, Mercury goes retrograde in Virgo, and the new moon is present in Leo. So, what we're seeing here is that on a personal level, we're going to have a lot of these personal planets impact us. Seeing as Venus will be in Virgo, there'll be a lot more love, a lot more interesting times when it comes to what we're trying to accomplish, maybe some luck when it comes to our work life, our pets, as well as some interesting information coming to us from the Mercury retrograde. Maybe some battles you've been having internally to be able to go over them again, over the plans again, to see if they are right for you. And that new moon in Leo highlights how we are the stars, right? We're the ones who have to put our best foot forward. And if we hold ourselves back, even in retrograde, we might not get the results that we're hoping for. So always remember that that new moon in Leo is going to be connecting you maybe to a new plan you have to set out, maybe to some goals you have to set. Now, don't forget, of course, that the month moves on, and on the 14th of August, Mercury enters Leo in retrograde, and on August 19th, there'll be a full moon in Aquarius. Now, this is sort of giving the energy of the battle between your individual self as well as your external, what you've been trying to accomplish. So that full moon energy is just going to bring an end to maybe some of the hesitation you've had around the goals that you've been trying to make, or some of the friendships that are coming into your life. They might be better than the ones you've had before, or you might be looking towards new ways to connect with some of the goals and long-term dreams you've had, as well as that Mercury entering Leo in retrograde. We move from this information overload of Mercury in Virgo to sort of this idea that our minds are very much tied to our self-esteem. So maybe you're going to go out there and you'll be a little bit hesitant because of the fact that it's in retrograde, but remember to reinforce your self-esteem, remember to stay positive, and to look for ways for yourselves and for others to be pulled up. Look for ways to help everyone around you and to have some fun, of course. Then on August 22nd, the sun will enter Virgo. And that is the best time of the month to deep clean, to declutter, to look for new ways to help others, to serve. If you are not already a volunteer, maybe look for things to volunteer with. Also, purging, getting rid of some of the old stuff you have, while also helping others, of course. So look for ways that you can maybe give to the goodwill or to your local organizations, and maybe just not in terms of service. It could also be related to your work as well. I'll be highlighting some, efforts you've been making or efforts you need to make in the future in order to be more present or more supportive of your work and your teams. Then on August 28th, Mercury goes direct in Leo, and we're finally out of this Mercury retrograde buzz that's been going on. We've been contemplating how we give, we've been contemplating our esteem and how we hold ourselves, what things we consider to be good or fun, the things that we value. And now Mercury finally goes retrograde in Leo, bringing back that energy from earlier in the summer when Mercury was in Leo, and you sort of had more energy, more light, more fun. Go with the flow with this, and definitely communicate with people about what the other things that you like to do, the hobbies that you have, maybe the ventures that you'd like to go into, whether that's work or not, or whether you can make something that's your, just a hobby into something that you can take further, right? Then on August 29th, Venus finally enters Libra, and we just see ourselves more sort of in this balanced area of our lives when it comes to love. Remember not to get too carried away and to really look at people, judge people that are coming into your life, especially your love life. For those of you who it does hit impact in their love life, make sure that you vet people, because at the end of the day, that Libra energy can get really carried away because we want to see the best in people. But at the end of the day, we have to go to the nature of Libra, which is to judge and to measure and to see the good and the bad, and maybe to accept it, but maybe to not invite it into your life if it's not something that you want. So good luck this month. And now let's go to the forecast for the individual signs. Hello, welcome back to Bella Star Astrology. Hello, Pisces. This is your monthly horoscope for August 2024. And we're looking at this beautiful night, or rather, these beautiful weeks in August. And it looks like there's going to be a lot of movement in your personal relationships and your work life that may or may not be welcome, or rather in your health life maybe, and your relationships that may or may not be welcome. But let's see how it goes. August 4th, Venus enters Virgo. This is the sign of, or rather, the house of love in your seventh house. It's opposite your first house. So Venus entering here is going to be a little bit more blessings when it comes to love. If you have a relationship, if you're in a relationship, it's a great time to go out on a date. It's a great time to see someone. But always remember that Mercury is in retrograde on the same day, and that's on August 4th as well. And that Mercury retrograde in Virgo in the same sign on the same day, really think it denotes that you should be careful who you trust, be careful who you are around, and think about some of your actions. Don't be hasty when it comes to your communication with your significant other. Although Venus is there to sort of, calm things down and bless, you also have to make sure that with Mercury in retrograde, you're not sending, text messages out of anger, or saying things out of context, or reading too into things that are, you're apt to do as you are a Pisces, and really thinking a lot deeper than maybe that it really is. And of course, on August 4th, there's a new moon in Leo. And this new moon is just a light for your health. There could be rejuvenation in your health. There could be answers that you've been waiting for, or maybe there's a new health routine that you want to take on. So you really take your commitment to it. Then, of course, as is going on throughout this time, Mercury is still in retrograde, and on the 14th, it enters Leo. And you want to make sure, now that you've had this new moon in Leo, this revitalization, this is sort of making sure that the decisions that you're making about your health or about your work, etc., are really, apt to help you as opposed to hurt you. And when it comes to work, you want to be careful that, when you're talking with your boss, or when you're working with your subordinates, or your employees that are under your care, that you're really giving them the respect that they deserve, and your processing power, your communication is on point, because Mercury in retrograde can always mess up how we intend to speak versus what actually happens, right? And so at the end of the day, what we want to make sure is that all of our communication is good, especially when Mercury's in retrograde. Then on the 19th of August, full moon is in Aquarius. This is in your 12th house. And, as an overthinker, Pisces, I would say that this would be a great time to maybe let go of some of the things that may be holding you back, that maybe you feel that are, not helpful to your success, especially since your sixth house is being activated by this Mercury retrograde. Maybe there are things in your health or in your work life that you can improve, and some of the belief systems or some of the beliefs that you have to be shed in order for you to move forward, right? Don't feel hung up on any one thing while Mercury's in retrograde, and really focus on how you can positively move forward. Then, of course, we have August 22nd, Sun enters Virgo, and that's where the light shines onto your love life. If you're in a couple, if you're out of a couple, wonderful time to take some time to be together. go out into the sun. These are the last days of summer. Enjoy, or well, if you're in the northern hemisphere anyway, these are the last few days of summer. We want to enjoy this time before we go into fall and into winter, and really have a good time together. It's going to rejuvenate your relationship and maybe even call in new partnerships that will help you to succeed in your business or in your dream ventures, right? Or things like that, entrepreneurial ventures. Then, of course, we have finally, after a month long, since August 4th, we have Mercury going direct in Leo. And like I said, we have this full moon in your 12th house. You have all this activation in your sixth house of health. And what you want to make sure you're doing now that Mercury goes direct is implementing any of the lessons that you've learned, getting some relief maybe from the pressure of the work that you were hanging on to, or more importantly, being able to feel more confident in the things that you are accomplishing, right? Because a lot of times we're overthinking things, and we're not able to move forward to open up ourselves, right? Then, after Mercury goes direct in Leo, Venus enters Libra. And that's where all of these blessings come in to our subconscious, to our thoughts, to our partnerships, maybe even to our income. Have you been working all of this month, especially with a strong energy in your sixth house and seventh house of partnerships, and then sixth house of work and what you do and your daily habits? Have you been working really hard? And now you get the blessings, the income, the inheritances, the culmination, the blessings of Venus in your eighth house coming towards you. Maybe some property, maybe some mysteries are solved for you that you were like, why am I feeling this way? What's going on? And finally, Mercury goes direct, Venus enters Libra, and there's some relief to maybe some of the thoughts or some of the actions are rewarded that you've taken this month. My Pisces friends, thank you so much for listening to this, your astrological uh, horoscope for August 2024, and good luck this month. All right, that's a wrap on today's personal reading for your sign. Thank you so much for listening, liking, and subscribing. If you would like your own personal reading, please feel free to DM me on Instagram. I'm taking clients now for their reading, as well as any questions that you might have about your love life, synastry readings, etc. So thank you so much for listening, liking, and subscribing. I hope you have a wonderful month of August.